breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to appear. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Oh man, there's Laplace, Louisiana, Hurricane Ida. If you're wondering, that was some of my footage from that storm. Had a lot of scary experiences driving solo, not knowing where to go. And yeah, we'll save that one for a rainy day. So here we go. We're going to talk some weather with Louie. So Louie today, the OG. And I think we're doing good. I think we're streaming. Everything looks good. Morning. So we got our Brew crew over there. Good morning, Brew crew. We've been over there yawning together. Louie's still yawning together. We got a little weather to talk about. Nothing too crazy out there in the weather world. Just heat. We're going to talk a lot about the heat. I know you don't want to talk about it, but it's weather. And I'm a Florida native. I can say it's hot, but I'll try to slow down the hot post today. But I think we might have a chance at 101 in Tampa today. Now, that would be even more breaking news. I might even drive over there, stand by the sensor by the airport, and take a picture. So we're going to say hello for a few minutes, and we'll go right into some weather. We got Panama City. Daniel, what's up? Tiffany, it's very controversial. Jesse Rice, good morning. Rice. I haven't had rice. Have you had rice in a long time? Rice. I like brown rice. A little crunchy. Kind of like grits. Car Hall's going to Jamaica. Well, you know, all you can do is say there's nothing showing right now. That's always good news. Gus, it was very hot. Pompano Beach, what's up, Michael? Richard Reimer, good morning, buddy. What's up, James? Good to see you. Hope Karen's doing good over there. Heat index is out of this world, Tammy. We need clouds, Shelly. We have no clouds. You know, when you go outside and it's hot, you know it's hot. But, you know, when we have these high pressures overhead, there's like all blue sky. It's hazy. It has that look of hot, right? I'll show you why we hit 100 yesterday. It was 99 most part of the day, too. And that record was back in 1990, I think. So that was, you know, The 99 record was a long time ago. But anyway, doing well, Jeff. Thank you. Inglewood, what's up? We got to do a screenshot, and then we'll let Louie down. Let's do water vapor screenshot. This one right here. All right. Because there's a bubble I'm curious about out there. Let's take a look, Louie. Look. Let's point together. Here, you point. Which one's? No, we'll do this hand. Look. Okay. And then I'll point. Like we're pointing at the weather. And then we both look over there. All right, so everybody's thinking about Louie. We get right into the weather. He's doing really good. Him and his brother are getting along awesome. They were sleeping in the banana bed this morning. So it's hot. Tropics are slow. There's nothing official to talk about. We got some heavy rain upper Gulf. To slow down a little bit, some of those totals. We got some big rain coming to the mid-Atlantic states. We're going to talk about that just later in the week. Some lingering rains. We might have some flooding there on day 4, day 5. So I'm going to show you that. But yeah, it's hot. So it's like the sun touches your skin when you open the door. 125 heat index. Oh my God. Scott, good morning. But man, all right, let's do it. Jeffrey, what's up? DIS Media? What kind of media do you do? Houma, Louisiana. Oh my God. You know that video at the beginning all too well. That was Hurricane Ida. I think Reed Timmer was over your area during Ida. Uh-oh, M strain. Oh, goodness gracious. Your wife doesn't like my voice. Well, that's a first. I've never been told that before. My wife says that a lot, but it's because of what's coming out of it, not really the tone of it. Oh, Anna Isabel, it's hot. So we were down at Madeira Beach yesterday, and I tell you what, I complained like I've never complained. Either I'm getting old and grumpy, or it was just hot. But it was miserable. Saturday, I was literally miserable. Like, and then yesterday too, we had a little bit of breeze yesterday coming in off the Gulf. But Tampa hit 100. There was 100s everywhere in Pinellas County yesterday. So, yucky. Oh, photography, video editing, cool. Morning, Teresa. What's up, Heather? But there you go. That's a water vapor loop. Now, this little thing is interesting. There's a little bubble out there in the middle Atlantic. That was, I don't know. It's kind of tied up to some more upper level convergence. But it's not tropical. So, no low pressure with it. It's just a blob of convection. This is the area we're kind of talking about. There's a big area of juice coming off of Africa right here, so we'll talk about that. Models are not very aggressive with it. There's a lot of posts out there about it, but we got all this dry air. So we'll get into that. Again, if you're tuning in, there's really nothing too major out there to worry about. How about very little to worry about? Okay, Mark. So there you go. Let's talk about it. They're melting. Yeah, Jeff, they might have been hotter. You know, I don't know. I just going by their one sensor right there in the airport. It's in the airport. Go figure, right? You would think it'd be getting all kinds of heat. Some people think it was heat, but hey, whatever. Same sensor they've used in a long time. So I know downtown Tampa was 101 like last week, but they go by the Tampa airport gauge. I think we officially had 101 in Clearwater, or St. Pete yesterday, too. All right, so anyway, we're going to talk weather. Daily Brew brought to you by good friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. We have a special second-year batch of Spaghetti Model IPA being made by Tampa Bay Brewing Company. We're going to be doing a special meet and greet with ABC on the east coast of Florida, so we're working on those details. We're having a local party on Friday the 29th. Next month, 4 weeks from now, we'll have a little get-together here at Tampa Bay Brewing Company, beer release party. So excited about it. We got Hunter on the can. We have a Hunter airplane on the can. We got the spaghetti models on the can. It's awesome. It's so exciting. They did a little tribute to Hunter on there for me. Hunter previously had 2 other beers, and Hunter is a big part of our MWP page, so we got a nice little spot for Hunter on the can. So all you dog lovers, you'll love it. But it will be available at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. And one of the reps from TBBC, my buddy Major, was actually answering questions the last time we did a post, letting everybody know what ABCs are going to have it in stock. So appreciate Major for doing that. All right, once again, here's your satellite. We're going to get right into it. This is not tropical, this little bubble out here. I know it looks like it, but there's not really much spinach to it. It's tied into some upper level winds, so we'll just kind of know it's there, but nothing to really get worked up about. But it's interesting, I will admit. Any blob's a little interesting, especially when it has some lightning attached to it. But there you go. Let's see. Let's look at some power outage maps. I was talking to one of our brew crewers, had family in Virginia. Virginia has Brew out there. They had some straight line winds yesterday, so they're dealing with power outages. And this area here, Minnesota specifically, and Wisconsin and Iowa are going to be even maybe in the Dakota some. I'm going to show you this. But they already got power outage. You got 37,000 out in Minnesota right now, and we got another line of storms today. So there's a lot of power outages up there. Big line of storms today. They're talking about derecho today. Officially talking likely derecho today. Those are Boeing lines of thunderstorms that usually go several miles, dozens, hundreds. I'm not sure the official classification, but hurricane force winds. So that'll be the big story. Folks already dealing with power outages are going to be dealing with more power outages. So there's that. Here's what it looks like. There's your coverage area today. We got a kind of rare level red 4. Right on the outskirts of Minneapolis there. So that's, going to be the winds, the big story. Hatched area winds, 75 mile an hour plus winds. So they're, pay attention to that. It would be a straight line Boeing, not a Boeing airplane, Boeing, posted it last night when I went to bed. I was watching long range modeling and it showed up last night, and it's definitely going to be a powerful storm today. Could be some tornadoes with it too, so that's what they're watching right there. So there's the big news yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about the temperatures today. Cindy, yeah, everybody wonders, water temperatures are under control right now. This heat obviously will raise the water temps up some. Oh, M Strength said she doesn't like my voice because that means it's hurricane season. Now I gotcha. I'm okay now. Dolson, is it hot in Louisiana? It's muggy there too, I bet. Not Boeing. Bowling. So why is this a big deal? Well, for me, it's a big deal because my dad and I talk about it all the time. And, a little tidbit a lot of folks didn't know is Tampa Bay's never had a 100-degree day. That's because the Tampa Airport, Tampa sensor literally is right by the water. And when you have water influence from winds from the Atlantic, from the Gulf, that cools the atmosphere. So everything's got to be perfect for those. And I'm going to show you what's been happening, why we have this crazy amount of heat, is the lineup of this high pressure, the winds. But everything came together yesterday. Now, records have been kept there since 1890. I know, whatever happened before 1890 is, I'm just saying, is hot. It's the same sensor for the last however many years never had 100. So there you go. Might have been a jet. I said it could have been a SpaceX fart. But it was a record. More than anything, it was a cool picture I took at Madeira Beach softball complex. That was Emily right there playing second. So I snuck in Emily in the weather graphic. So it was a family photo on top of a weather photo. Heat index yesterday too, though, man. 110, 15. We had 120s in some of these areas right there north of Pasco. Ugh. All right, so I posted this morning. This is fascinating to me. This is what's going on. We got a high pressure right there just south of Louisiana. High pressure spin clockwise. What happens, though, we got where it starts to weaken out on the outskirts of that high pressure, we have another boundary off to the east. So all the air is pretty much driven on these red arrows, and it's smack dab straight down to Florida Peninsula and southeast. So it's getting no cooling off of the Gulf or the Atlantic. That air is coming straight down. And then also where I got this red X, currently and today, very little air movement. Okay, so there's really no influence of any winds coming across, sea breezes. It's kind of a dead zone of winds, and that's kind of what happened yesterday. I was tracking it. This was posted by Tomer Berg. Confirmed what I was watching. I was at the softball field, and my buddy Jason, he was laughing at me because I kept refreshing the temperature thing, and I'm like, it's gonna do it. Then it went to 97, and then it went to 99, then it went to 97, then it went to 99, and then I'm watching the winds, and I'm like, these winds are coming out of the northeast, and I'm like, that's what. And then I was watching the sensors to the north climbing up, like there's another sensor on the airport. All of them were climbing at the same time. And I'm like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Well, this confirmed it. This is a wind chart, basically just showing you the layers of the atmosphere, and all the winds were basically coming in low, mid. So that's why Tampa got 100 degrees. It's like everything's got to line up, and that's the same for Pinellas. Everybody that we had winds and the same thing happens when we get extreme cold weather down here. When we have weird freezes in northern Pinellas and Hillsborough because the winds come down and then they don't warm. So those winds in the wintertime warm up because of the water, and the winds in the summertime cool because of the water. But when they don't have any water influence, straight line winds coming out of that polar Arctic air. And then yesterday, all that heat coming down, with land interaction, never have any chance to cool. So that's why it's so hot. There you go. But today, interesting enough, we got a chance, I think, to hit 101. I'm going to be following this because this was the day that was supposed to be the hottest day of this whole little high pressure dominance week we've had. And this is a lot of people under heat advisories. 108 to 112 heat index across southeast, 112 plus heat index in the purple. Those that's extreme heat warnings. We're talking 115 plus. Okay, that's a lot of folks in northern Florida, Georgia, there, Carolinas. It even stretches the whole Mississippi basin there, all the way up. And then where those storms are going to happen today is why we got the heat. The heat is going to create some incredibly strong storms today up north because they have the moisture. They're outside that high pressure. That high pressure is rotating actions across the plains, and they're going to benefit from that moisture, and they're going to have pretty incredible storms later because you mix the heat. Now, our area, it is not going to be dry. Okay, when we get a storm pop up, they're usually pretty powerful because you got all this heat, all this energy's got to go somewhere, right? So like yesterday, we had a couple little isolated cells that popped up, and the HRR showed it. I'm going to look at it before we leave because it showed these little pop-up cells. It makes sense. It's got 75, 78 degree dew points and all this humidity. That moisture is in the atmosphere. Some of it's going to find a way to get going. So the storms are usually a little more or less under high pressure, but they're usually a lot more powerful. And we had one yesterday come across South Pinellas. Just missed us. But that's a lot of folks dealing with heat today. A lot more than normal. Here's that high real quick before I close this window down. This is your surface level winds, and it's really fascinating to me. I just love watching. When I started this journey, I didn't know about the jet stream. I didn't know high pressures, low pressures. I've learned so much. But the fascinating part is watching high pressures, low pressures, how they steer storms, how they create storms, how they work together, where they work against each other. But where we're in right now is this big high pressure dome. It just basically is just an opening to the sun. High pressure dome. And you can see these winds come down, and they kind of meet the winds over here in the Atlantic. And like I said, you just get this flow down here, direct heat, and then you get this dead zone here of almost nothing. And that's where these heat indexes really climb. So that's why it's hot. It's fascinating, right? There is a cool down coming, but I do want to share this one more time. This is just kind of give you an idea what it means. This is the Jacksonville lower down through Palatka, and St. Augustine Palm Coast not in it because they benefit from but Jacksonville beaches all the way up to St. Simon's there. But basically, purple is heat warning 113, 115, heat advisory in the orange 108 to 112. There you go. Limit extremist time outdoors. Stay hydrated. If you have AC, use it. good advice. And wear light colored clothing. But you know how many people at the softball field wore black yesterday? And I'm like, isn't that hot? So anyway, there's that. Rainfall, real quick. Like I said, isolated rains. We got this wraparound lingering front again, like we've been seeing that three-peat. But you know what? It's been showing a lot less rain. Here is basically Monday rain. So there's that same, the flow patterns coming down. Maybe some storms popping here, coastal moving center state westward today. Very isolated here today. There's some more rains wrapping around the top side there in the Carolinas. They're going to get a little bit more rain on the next few days. Tomorrow, starting to see a little bit more of this front line dropping down. So tomorrow rains are increasing a little bit more across the upper Gulf. Wednesday rains, there's that blob we talked about last week that's starting to set up. That might linger for a few days. So we might have, this is Wednesday rain totals, an inch plus across Mississippi there, and Bama and Louisiana. And then there's your Thursday rain. So it just lingers. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Carolinas. They got a big part of this lingering front later in the week. We might have to watch as far as heavy rains go. There's that lingering front into the weekend. So lingering front, basically Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe upper Gulf, maybe more Wednesday, Thursday, ish, and then this front flattens out and we get a lot of rains here on the mid-Atlantic Carolina side, and they linger through Friday here into Saturday. Here's Saturday rains, so it could be quite wet here across the Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. This is basically let's see, here's Friday. Well, let's see, this is Friday rains, Friday. Here's Saturday rains. Well, that's quite a bit, actually. A couple places showing a couple inches. And then Sunday rains. There you go. So that's kind of everything in a nutshell. We're not seeing crazy high numbers that I posted last week. Let's look at total precipitation. Maybe a few isolated pockets here, 2, 3, 4 inches. But then we get the heavy stuff here later in the week. And that's starting to show up a little bit more. So here's your rainfall through Sunday morning right here. Here's the rainfall through Saturday. So you get the idea, right? What's up, Bonnie? What's up, Phyllis? Daytona. Heading to Daytona for NASCAR. Can't wait. Anybody going Daytona? Nashville? Did I say Nashville? NASCAR. Here's that flooding chance Thursday. These rains are going to start lingering here, Carolina northward on Thursday. Here is Friday. That drops a little bit. So I think we're going to have it lingering Saturday too. This only goes out day 5. So already seeing some flood risks increase Thursday, Friday. This is Friday right here. So we'll see Saturday will probably be very similar. And here's your rainfall totals through Monday. It kind of gives you the idea where the heavy stuff's going to set up. 1 inch is blue usually, and that's random through 7 days. But the heavier rains, upper Gulf, not showing what they were showing. And then a little bit more on the East Coast side. So remember the tropics maps was saying we could get something popping here, upper Gulf, Atlantic. That was the end of July, early August. Still kind of the same idea. We might get something pop off the coast here. So this general frontal line that's going to linger through the weekend could possibly, but very, very low model support. So, Sean, what's up, buddy? Massachusetts heat wave. Where is it not hot? Hey, by the way, long range, before I forget, there is a cool down coming. Oh, by the way, here's that map I was talking about. This is the end of July, early August. So this was long range outlooks, but basically, anytime you get an old lingering frontal line, we can see something try to pop. And it's still a possibility as an area to watch, but there's nothing on the models that are showing it. So Zippo to stress about. But I think we have a cool down coming. Look at this. So here's your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Look at that. Still hot in Florida. Still hot in Texas, southwest there. Look at Alaska. They're hot. But this is above average temperatures, whatever that means. But anyway, it's going to be cooling down. I saw some 40s and 50 dew points there across the mid-Atlantic northward. This is August 2nd through the 6th. And then it comes back. So, it's enjoy it while it lasts. There you go. let's take a look at tropical tidbits here one more time. We're going to look at some temperatures, just since we talked about temperatures. Look at eastern U.S. We're going to look at, why do I always hit contours? I've been doing that for years. All right. Obviously, it's hot. Let's see this cool down coming up. I'm trying to find the coolest day. Probably going to be maybe right here. Saturday. Hey, Friday night fire pits. Holy cow. 50s. Is that cold for this time of year? Well, it's below normal. But look at that, 50s. Oh, man. 50s. Let's see what the Euro says. Same. But we're going to see 50s. That's Saturday morning. Going to be pretty dry, I assume, too. Look at moisture. Oh, yeah, it's dry air. A lot of dry air. So it'll feel very crisp. Dew point's going to be in the 50s. See, there's those 40s in the dew point. So if you want to get away, Hey, real quick, I forgot to do my big thank you last week. I need to put this away in my pocket. But hey, we have an awesome place here in town called Flamestone, and they are big fans of our site. And they just randomly sent us a gift card, and they said, thank you for all that you do for our community. We were so excited when we found out you lived in Oldsmar. So thank you, Flamestone. We've been there a bunch. And do I have a name on the card? Looks like Nick. Nick. So if everybody knows Nick, tell him thank you. From Flamestone. I think they aren't they the ones that did the marshmallows, Julie? Oh, she left me. Not really left me, but they have something there that we go. It's kind of famous for. I can't remember what it was for. Attic air. All right. Well, there you go. Dew points are down at 40s, and that's next weekend coming up. So there you go. Enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts. Let's see here. What else we got open that I haven't shown yet? Let's see. We got rain. Tropical development. I guess we can show this real quick. So this looks out the next 7 days. Like you should know by now. Always refer to the National Hurricane Center, National Weather Service first. Nothing highlighted for the next week or across the Gulf. Nothing highlighted coming across the Atlantic. There's a lot of buzz about the Atlantic we're going to go into now. Got a big wave coming off. Some of the models showed it developed, some didn't. But National Hurricane Center doesn't think we're going to have any development in at least 7 days. My big question mark is going to be down the road what happens once it reaches not so hostile conditions. Going to be around here, around the 1st and 2nd, somewhere around here, which, gives you an idea, 3rd, 4th. So if we were to have anything developing, it would be around the 1st and 2nd, nearing the islands. 3rd and 4th, somewhere up here, if we had anything. So anytime you get a wave off of Africa, it's painful tracking. I do have this graphic here, which I love it. This one is generated to tell you how long a wave usually takes to reach continental U.S. Just puts it out there like general rule of thumb right there. Look, 12 days, 11, 12, 13 days basically. So that's 12 days on average. Anything in that blue area that it would take to get over here somewhere. If it was going to do it, first, if we have anything, and second, if it doesn't recurve, if it doesn't develop and it goes weak west, it crosses into the Pacific. But it's just, gives you an idea. All right, so, we're watching a wave off Africa. What's that mean? Well, it means we got at least 12 days, at least a week. So it's silly to really get going. I mean, and a lot of times these come off looking really healthy coming off of Africa, and then they fizzle out once they get over water. So really, the rule of thumb always was let it get over water, give it a couple days, and then see if it's still hanging on. And this is basically the general area right there, and it's coming off right now. I believe that's the one. So keep an eye on it. There's a lot of dry air out there. I'm going to show you. There is some wind shear ahead. Doesn't have a lot of model support on it. Now there is a wave coming in behind. There's always going to be a wave coming behind, but we're going to talk about one wave at a time. This is basically the intertropics convergence zone, which is fascinating. It shows you the winds from the north meeting the winds in the south, and they sometimes can help spin little systems up. You get a little system out there, and then they break off and they head off that way. One thing I have noticed that I do want to talk about, if I don't forget, this year. So I've hinted to this a bunch this year. Posted graphics of other systems. But we keep getting these frontal lines, and we keep getting this weakening here, and that's pushing the Atlantic high over a little bit. And a lot of the models were showing our system kind of going up. A couple of them had it turning. Okay. So one thing that I've seen over some years, we've had a lot of systems still figure out a way to come in off the Western Atlantic and head west eventually, and that's because the high pressure builds back in strong. So these temporary little hiccups in the frontal lines that we're seeing could allow systems to more pull up and then do this little, like Florence did one year. It was like, so we always, worry about the high pressure dominating and blocking any recurve. So what was interesting with this system, a lot of the models were showing, yesterday the AI kept showing here and the Canadian was showing here after turning a little bit. So we're going to talk about that. But again, there's no it. There's no when's it. There's no it. It's just, I start looking at steering patterns and repeat patterns for the year. And this year seems like we have a year of fronts down, which allows systems to pull up a lot more than they normally would going straight west. But nothing's showing too strong right now. But this is an interesting little feature. I really don't know what that's all about. But it's just it's definitely tied to upper level winds. Pretty sure. Let me look. I can see them right there, 250. Yeah, a little bit. It's just not really showing much. There's a little 500 millibar. Just no surface low. I had a little vorticity this morning, but there it is right there, a little bump. I looked at 850 this morning, and it actually showed a little bit of vorticity out there. A little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. So I don't know. I'm just curious. Just curious. We'll see. But nothing marked officially, so I'll stop talking about that because there's nothing there to make up. All right, what else we got? Ensembles. Morning, Mary Ann. Morning, Ryder. There's my boy, Ryder Cash. 104.5 at 9:50 morning, Bonnie. I believe it. I believe it. Like I said, man, Tampa might have a chance to even break the 100 today. 101. I don't know how up to date these RTMA temp analysis are. And I don't think it has heat index. Yeah, it does actually, heat index. So here's some. This is usually behind a little bit though. But we're already seeing upward hundreds this morning. Oof, I know yesterday, man, we had like 120. Look at the corn belt. Corn sweat. Every year I learned something new. This year was corn sweat. Yep, Shelly's sharing the cruise flyer. Today would be a great day. Where's my sticker at? I got it somewhere. Right here. There it is. I have a link on the page. Today's a great day to call Kim or text Kim or email Kim. We're going to sell this one out, guaranteed. And we love the Margaritaville. It's become probably our favorite cruise line. And we go a lot of Royal. So, highly recommend it. We're going to have a lot of fun. You know you've been thinking about it. Just don't wait. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. I'm more excited about we're going to have a private pub crawl at Key West, which is awesome. Plus a lot of other little perks that we didn't have before. So, yeah, it's amazing. That's right, Ryder. Yep, 100 degrees. I was chasing it. Williams on Cape Coral. Well, it's not bad down there. Let's talk about the ensembles before I forget. Where are they? Right here. All right, so ensembles. You notice a trend, and the top one is the European ensembles, and they've been showing a little less with our system coming across. I posted the dust map this morning. There's a lot of dust. There's some shear. The Euro AI is still a little bit more aggressive. Now, the Euro AI ensemble was kind of new to me. I don't know if we had them last year, but the Euro AI as a model did pretty decent last year. And it's been kind of showing this little turn up, towards the southeast, and not as much in the most recent run. So we're in the flip-flopping stages, a lot of cherry picking models when the majority might show nothing. So, cautious to pick one or two runs, except yesterday I shared the Euro and CMC. They're both kind of showing that same little turn. So that's just kind of what's out there, If you're new to the page, welcome. But we like to look long range, look at the possibilities, look at things forming in the early stages that aren't usually talked about. So there you go. Later, when this thing gets a little turn, it might have a window of opportunity to develop past 60 degrees out there. So that's kind of it. There's no, strong signature to really stress about. Here's that dust I was talking about. Look at this. This is incredible. Here's July 31st. And this wave was going to reach somewhere in the Lesser Antilles, somewhere around first second. But there's a tremendous amount of dust on the top side. And remember, tropical systems like to spin counterclockwise. So any of that dust and dry air that gets wrapped around into our system really prevents things from developing. Now, you still get rain and whatnot, but large-scale organization, is hard when you have this much dust. So that's the current dust map. Now, this dust map goes to the 3rd, and look at that. It reaches South Florida on the 4th. That's crazy, man. So we might have more dusty, dry, hot, yucky conditions. And there's another plume coming in behind it. So that's been the story this year. It's definitely, now we can say it's above average. It's always been big in June and a little bit in July. But, man, it's just not slowing down. Do we really look out here? Honestly, well, most of the homegrown storms, where I live, aren't these areas out in the Atlantic. We got a lot of people watching the Caribbean. It's very important for them, obviously, because we have waves come across. They have to worry about these waves. But as far as our area, man, everything seems like it's homegrown, right? So, this time of year we really don't look out here. But there is chitter chatter about this wave, so I wanted to talk about it. Let's look at the latest tropicaltidbits.com modeling here. Euro AI last year did very well. You can see this little dot. This is low pressure. This is the second north side. Very weak showing. A little bit more deeper pressure. Starts to try to organize it a little bit by the Bahamas, and then it kind of turns it up on the Gulf Stream there. That was the latest run. Now, there is models popping after, but like I said, too far for me. But there's that. All right. In the last several runs before that, the 00Z, Euro AI, kind of the same thing. Develops it, and this makes sense. The dust will be a little bit less, not a lot less, but it'll be away from this wind shear that it's going to have to pass through. But, there you go. It does develop it. It does go to Carolina, so so we're keeping an eye on that wave. The Euro AI is the most aggressive. If it fails, then here's what I was doing yesterday, going in the Gulf a little bit. Longo. And then here is the 12Z. And that was it. So sometime around the first, second, we're going to be seeing a wave. The main Euro shows a very, 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 very weak wave. Very little development. There's a little dot here. Tuesday, August the 5th. Kind of curves a little bit. But none of that's developed at all. These are just low pressure areas. The Canadian was the only one yesterday that was kind of showing the same thing here. There's a little dot on the second, and it kind of tries to keep low pressure in South Florida. So there you go. I want to look at some ensembles, a little more ensemble runs. And it's 10. So there was a little bit of one eye on that wave yesterday. Now there's like a half one eye. I don't know how much lower we can get. But not ignoring it at all. 15-day Euro really is not doing anything with it at all. So, hey, there you go. Main Euro. We can't turn our back on the main Euro. Couple little lines popping here. Something stays weak west, and then it gets going. So that's kind of the theme, but nothing strong enough to raise the alarm at all. But there are a couple popping here towards the end of the week here. Left over that wave, maybe another wave, but very low confidence. And then yesterday's 12Z, huge difference. So really curious. We'll look at the afternoon models, but this was yesterday's 12Z Euro. Quite a few. 10 days out. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 possible. And some of them span out, some of them turn in. But then last night 00Z, it's completely. So we'll see if the afternoon models do the same thing. It seems like with all that dry air and shear, it'd be really hard for anything to get going here. But this window is definitely, if there's anything left. And there you go. And then 2 nights ago, it was doing a lot of that fish storm. Euro AI, again, I'm just curious about these things. Not got any track history on the Euro and the on them yet, but there's that. Just to give you an idea, there's some. After a week getting going, some of them kind of head back west. Some of them go out to sea. So, yeah. Same theme. 7 days from now, very little. See, we're starting to get a couple of them developing here around the 4th. So everything in this whole 60 degrees east probably ain't going to happen. It's what happens over here. So we got a long way to go. So there you go. Let's look at the GFS ensembles. I don't think they're showing hardly anything. Very little bit. It actually develops it, but then I guess you can argue it's starting to do something. But come here, Longo. Hey, come here, Longo. He's crawling up in bed with Louie. Come here. Come here. Come here. He's coming up. Come on. It's the first dog that's actually come to me. Come here. The other dogs play so stubborn. Here's my little Longo. Yeah, you come to see Daddy. Yeah. He likes his belly rubbed. Bonnie, I'm not really a ham operator. I listen to the ham operator. But he's doing so good. He hung out in the back porch with me last night. He likes the back porch. He's a little explorer. Right? You like the outside. You're an outside dog. How old is he now, Julie?
11 weeks. He'll be 12 weeks this week.
He'll be 12 weeks. And we don't know what he weighs, do you?
No.
But I told everybody we're going to have a calm dog again. This will be the 3rd one. He was a little wild when we got him, but he's calmed down a lot. Thunderstorms, doesn't even wake up now. We were over in Vieira for his first big thunderstorm, and he did okay, right? He's such a good boy. So that's Longo. Oh. Anyway, All right, well, there's it. So, hey, we're not going to make things up that aren't out there. I'm more, really about the heat. We're going to see how hot it gets today. I'm going to show you a couple maps here, and then we'll go. Got to save something to talk about tomorrow. So I guess today, we'll just look at today. Let's look at the HRR today. Look at some temps just for curiosity. And some heat indexes. Like I said, we already talked about the big storms up north. So pretty much everybody in the whitish area is almost 100. I mean, this is heat. This isn't heat index. So it's hot. I don't think, do we have a heat index? We do have a heat index. Oh God, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, so anything purple's upwards of 110. So everything purplish is 110 plus heat index today. I want to see okay, so now we're going to look at those little popcorn storms. We'll get, little popcorn storms today. We'll see. Across Florida. We'll just selfishly look at Florida. Look at that heat index in Florida. God. Triple digits. Yeah. Let's see the radar today. Oh yeah, you have a few popping up. See that? Pretty much middle state westward, little popcorn storms today. And man, these things, they rise, they do their thing, and then they're gone. Like poof. That dry air just dries them up. Crazy. But you'll see them going. And finally they just can't not produce eventually. So we end up with these isolated, and they're usually pretty dang strong. We had a severe thunderstorm warning yesterday, so I wouldn't be surprised some of these are pretty little strong cells tonight. But they'll pop up anywhere. You just don't know where they're going to go. The winds here in this high pressure kind of preventing things on this coast. Everything's kind of doing this. So there's that. Cool beans, right? There's our Margaritaville. Call Kim. Those are two people prices. So it's where it says $13.89. It's basically $698 a person. That's two people prices, and that's 5 nights of food, 6 days basically, but 5 days. We leave on June the 6th. Popcorn storm. That's just an unofficial name of a storm that pops up. Popcorn. Oh, that's nice, Julie. They don't come to their owners when they're boring. Steva, I think it's hotter than normal. I don't know. We get all kinds of opinions, which are fine. I don't know if it's because I'm older or not. It just seems hotter. Well, my dad hit Palm Harbor 96 yesterday, or 97. He said he doesn't remember any time Palm Harbor had 97. So today will be the interesting day. Today was always going to be, hey, Richard, goodbye, Gus, we'll see you, buddy. It is a good price, man, and I love Margaritaville. It's got a bad rap. Now, the other side of the state, I haven't been on that one. The Tampa one, Islander, is completely renovated. I think the food is awesome, the entertainment, the crew, the bars, the entertainment. I wanted our 5th annual cruise to go to Margaritaville because we've been on it 3 times and we love it. So, always chance to spin up tornadoes, Corey. We had one in Fort Myers, couple last week. If you remember, they only rated it an EF0. I don't even think they rated it an EF0, but it was a spin up. Anytime you get these large convective, but without a lot of jet stream winds, it'd be really quick, isolated, more of an updraft kind of thing. So Mike confirms it. Older you get, the hotter it feels. Hey, Bobby, how's it going? So there you go. That's it for me. All right. Well, hey, a lot of good info, I hope. Let's just see how hot it gets today. And that's all we really got to talk about. I think I might drive over there. That might be funny to do a little video right there from the actual sensor. Let me zoom in here on the Windy app. We'll take a look at some temps. Okay, temperature, zoom in here. Now these are Euro predictions, hour by hour, so. See, it's showing Tampa 100 again. It was 101. '97 Palm Harbor. Let's see what the GFS says. 97. Icon 97. HRR 95. That's usually a little low, other than 97. NAM's not really a good temperature model. So it really just comes down to if it hits 101. So this is at 3 p.m. Wish I could go back to, this is probably a 6Z cycle. I think the 00Z cycle was what the hell is this record? Oh, reported temp. Oh, it's a personal radar station. All right, cool. Well, hey, listen, we'll see y'all tomorrow, and hope we covered everything. All right. I had a good email about dew point. I'm gonna try to do a little more homework on dew point, and then we might talk about dew point when things get slower. It's very confusing. Dew point, humidity, feel like, temperatures. We'll save that for a rainy day. All right. Well, you all have a great day. We're going to stick around the Brew Crew now for a little while. See what you all are up to. And then we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, 9:19 a.m. Eastern. Where's Longo? Jesse, you missed.